ために最も必要なもの、それは運です。
Hey everybody, and welcome to a new edition of the Project WEBTOON's podcast, again coming at you live with the hottest, latest from the annals of webtoons as well as manhwas all around the globe. Here it of course is me, it's your big man, it's Sleepy.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Seraph here.
Hey,
this is Arc Dragoon.
We're all in it again. What's up, fam?
Nothing really. I just moved to a new house. That's about it.
I mean, hey, a move's a move. It's a big move.
Yeah, that's true.
Wasn't just a small little drip there, but still, it's good to see you back. Good to see you. I like the lights. I like the color.
Thank you.
Looks very chill and fly in there. Hey, Ark, how you doing this week? Get a good nap?
Not dead yet.
Not dead?
Yes, I'm not dead yet.
You sound very, very tired. Sorry.
Yeah, everyone in this cast other than the man named Sleepy looks tired. What's going on?
It was a busy day at work.
Of sleep every single night.
You've had how much sleep?
Like
2 hours every night.
Why?
What the fuck?
What random nightmares are you having, and how can I extract them?
How can we assist, bro?
It's just some PTSD stuff, I guess.
Oh.
Just ignore it.
All right.
Okay.
Always nice to get a little bit of extra time there when we need it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially from this week's episodes, with a lot of the chapters that came out. There was a handful of personal episodes. It seemed like some very emotional bits that came down. I take it, did you read the newest chapter for the boxer arc?
Yes.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting to go that dark.
I mean,
I really wasn't.
I thought it was getting dark already, so it's fine.
I mean, how was it not? I mean, it was already dark, but I wasn't expecting it to go all the way there. Yeah, so, either way, we've definitely got a few different things to cover for this week. Got new chapters for Descent of the Demonic Master, beginning after the end. That got a Highschool, Inso's Law, it's back. Lore Olympus, Mookhyang, and Solo Leveling. Skipped out on Triple F this week. I don't know if they are on a weird rotation, but hopefully they'll be back in it going forward. But let's go ahead and let's actually jump into our first one I got on the list. Starting off with Descent of the Demonic Master. Seraph, I know when you left, we had just come out of the fight between the Association and him. And we were just basically getting back into just some like more or less like normal times.
It was like cool times.
It was just cool times. Everyone was laxing.
Trying to help out the orphans and stuff like that.
Yup. But
so they don't get so bullied.
But yeah, we jumped up into actually getting into his past a little bit, his time over in the Miram world in his second life. It's particularly dealing with his teacher. So yeah, I wanted to get I know I spoke to Ark about this a little bit, since that's been one thing we haven't really got a handle on exactly, like why his mentality is the way it is. And especially since we've seen a little bit of his, Grandmaster side. But we figure, okay, the teacher would kind of reflect maybe that same mentality, but not at all. He's very grandpa, happy-go-lucky kind of person.
He's extremely grandpa.
Yeah, it's very, very Uncle Iroh kind of vibes come from him.
But instead of being like super lax like Iroh, he's just like bundles of energy inside.
Oh yeah,
him.
he's Iroh. He's Iroh Pyre to his son. You know, he's very energetic. He's very energetic, and he wants to help people. But yeah, so we got to see at least what they call, or at least how he came in contact with his art and how he's trained in it and exactly what it is. But big thing that his actual beginning for his teachings are not demonic. He actually learns an unknown art that is just deemed forbidden
No, it's heretic.
or no.
Yeah, it's like it's heretic because you're teaching it to the
Well, that was the thing though.
Or it
Is
is
that
quote, demonic.
well, no,
So-
his art isn't considered demonic at first because he actually runs into somebody in this in the newer chapter that actually asks him to join the demonic sect.
No. Okay, there's a difference in like in a cultivation or martial art being demonic and a demonic sect itself. You don't have to be a part of the demonic sect itself to be quote unquote demonic. It's only demonic because it's like being demonized by whoever is on the other like on the orthodox side, basically the good side.
I mean, I would
So-
guess, but the fact that this seemingly his teacher was probably one of the few people that knew it, you figure there's not very many others, and he didn't even seemingly like recognize it as a demonic art on his side. So I think this gives more cadence because it's supposed to be used for either an ill manner, not so much just protecting the weak, which we kind of see that later on when after we also meet his what would become his friend and second right-hand man, but as he raises in the ranks of that demonic sect, and he ends up like killing innocents because of it. So I figured that's where the whole the extra additive for the demonic side, because his whole bringing up where the teaching was it's supposed to be used for the weak, but he ends up getting involved with people that just use it whoever they want. But that his master being killed slowly changes his mentality, which I don't know if that seemed like that went by really fast, or if it's because he's kind of like the only nice person he had, but he had the other townsfolk, which clearly he cared about.
Yeah, which he tried to protect until it got burned down.
Well, by one of his own lackeys at that.
Yup.
So I don't know if like that pushes him further into being the actual like more dark-handed person he becomes later on.
No, up until that point, he never taught the martial art to anyone.
Not even his. Well, no,
Because-
didn't he teach it to the second? Didn't he teach it to his right hand? Because he called him
No,
the blue demon.
yeah, but I don't think it's the same like technique, because what happens is that's why he gets that epiphany. He's like, oh, maybe I should be teaching. Like I should have been using this to be teaching regular people instead. Like, but and then at that moment, that is the moment when like the quote unquote betrayal happens.
Mhm.
That like basically the entire martial
World.
the entire martial world gets together and bands together. It's like, oh no, this is a bad idea for him to teach this technique to anyone.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, the martial world already had its personal belief against the technique, and there was really very few, if anyone, that could actually take him
he
on.
wasn't
But it wasn't
an
until
actual threat. Again, it's the threat of
What's the threat
disturbing
of
the
knowledge?
established quo. Yeah.
yeah. But did his student, or well, at least his other right hand, think of it in the same manner, or did he make any kind of comment that would, make him want to turn and betray on him? Because he even states, like in the very first chapters, that he did this entire betrayal because he could see the evil that he was going to commit.
Yeah, which is to teach people.
Okay, so you just think that he was on board with the status quo not going, or is he on board for the fact like, no, you're just going to give more power to yourself by having more people somewhat like you that you control?
I don't think it makes a difference as to like how they perceived it, because
I mean, perception is kind of everything.
No, his intention. No, that's what I'm saying here. It's like his intention was to be like, oh, well, I it's finally time to realize my master's teachings, which is to teach it to the poor so that they can defend themselves. At which point, then the entire martial league turns against him, like orthodox, unorthodox, demonic, whatever. It didn't make a difference because everyone's like, oh, we can't have him actually teach people this technique.
This very simple but powerfully deadly technique.
If everyone is special, then no one is, right?
I mean, if you think about it that way, Dash, yes. But you have to see that everyone is already uniquely special. Then it's okay. But yeah, so I mean, if that was the entire reasoning, at least for them turning on him and for the actual betrayal part on the Blue Demon side, do we see him either rethinking some of his mentality in his new life now? Like, we don't see him at all ever trying to teach anybody else these skills or techniques, even though we have like the orphan kids that are veritably weak to an extent.
That's not true. He tried to, and then they told him, "Oh, you can't do that because
strength doesn't in this
like,
world doesn't mean anything."
Yeah, that doesn't exist in this world anymore. And then we know it kind of still does, but like in the way like.
Well, I mean, it still does because they still, in seemingly most ways, they still control the real world how it is. They just kind of let everybody else peacefully live in it. But they're still the heads of, you know, most of the biggest corporations or conglomerates or politicians. They're all underneath the thumb of either the association or, you know, the sex in some way. But yeah, it's more like if you're just trying to live a pretty standard low-level life, you don't need this. It's not really going to do anything for you. But yeah, so was there anything else that I missed, at least in those two chapters that we got out? Anything you two wanted to bring up or talk on? I know that the kids are at least are all planning up for a secret date. A secret date
for Ging Jin-ho and movie actress.
Yep. Trying
Which I
to.
find is adorable.
What's up?
Which I find adorable.
her
throwing the tantrum on the floor like a baby.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, what's happening here?
And that's how he managed to get the pizzeria.
I mean, yeah, you do what you can, I guess. Whatever gets you in the way, but yeah. So hopefully, I'm expecting next chapter will be another low-key one since we're out of the past, and we'll get a date night episode here. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it won't end in a bridge collapsing on either one of them.
Ferris wheel hinging itself and rolling towards them, or they're on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
I'll be devastated.
I mean, it'll be another way to just
leave me alone. That's all I want.
He wants to live his life, man. He just wants to live a normal human life, and these motherfuckers keep trying to go after him, and he's just like, I just want to be a normal human being.
I mean,
and hang out with, you know, my friends.
John Wick just wanted to have a puppy. But what happened? You can't have a puppy. So
we can't have nice things.
No, this is exactly why we can't have nice things. See, you figured it out. All right. Okay. We'll go ahead. We'll move on to our next one here. 2 chapters coming up with the beginning after the end. Art out of the hospital. Art in class. And yeah. Well, we thought... I was more waiting for you to see on this one, Seraph, because Princess Kathleen making her move.
Went off Art.
She did.
Real quick, because that was a chapter before, I think it was, on 105, yeah, Tessia went off on Art.
Yeah.
I could care less about Kath than trying to make her move. I just wanted to, like, talk about how Tessia decided to step up hardcore and put Arthur in his place and let her know what's going on. Like, Arthur can't really decide between him being Arthur or King Gray.
Yeah.
You know, like, his mentality is set on King Gray, but he's inside of a 12, 13-year-old's body.
Well, yeah, his mentality is King Gray, but he is
who is like
still
48 years old,
but he is still Arthur. So she did very much showing off her maturity status there, as well as, you know, even putting him in his place to, like, everyone else honestly can see past this facade you've been putting on. We're not as blind as you think we are. So Art got a nice new lesson here in treating other people properly, especially when they, you know, have some serious things to say. It has been a couple of years. Tess has grown up. She's no longer the scared child in the woods. So, you know, got to start taking something seriously here. But yeah, what did you think of Art and his first day teaching though?
I thought that was really cool. He taught them something that they probably would have never learned in general, you know.
Probably, or at least not really grasp it the way that they would have. Because I mean, I think the other teacher was kind of trying to teach them the same way, but using the standards that they have there with how their more or less their classism works between augmenters and emitters or conjurers. So Art giving them like a one-to-one demonstration of the difference between that and why it's important, kind of like, oh, now he gains some respect from a lot of the students, even all of the ones that were more than happy to try and challenge him over his seat there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we did get another return of the I don't know what class that was that he was in when he got hurt. I don't know if that was just like battle tactics or what really, but the teacher from that class shows up.
Professor Glory
shows up to try and was trying to pull him into another class, since he's apparently the discussion he had with Tess kind of rattled him, and he stayed around and skipped a class or two.
Mm-hmm. He was just focusing on training.
Yeah,
thinking about his own conflicts going on.
His own personal conflicts, and his best friend, his best little friend there, giving him clearly sage advice about his own shortcomings. Little Sylv just positively giving him like, oh, that's because you're being a moron. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting for some of the other teachers to at least well, we've already gotten rid of the one obstacle teacher since he took him out, but I'm kind of wondering
drunkard.
The drunkard. I'm kind of wondering when Gloria's gonna stick her nose in some stuff, because she's definitely interested in the fact
starting to
that
get more curious about Arthur as it stands.
Yeah,
because every time she sees him, it's always something different with him. You know,
it's something more impressive than meets the eye for someone his age. But yeah, so but nothing too much else to speak on for these two chapters. It was really more filling in with school time. I am at least glad that we are getting to see him in school and not just like
doing his own thing.
Well, yeah, not just him either practicing, or we'll just see him like leave a classroom and him talk about what they did in there, but him actually in the class going over some of the lessons, as well as some of the other teachers, and seeing like the filling in of the world, like other people's mentalities as well. Like not everyone is as close-minded as you would think that we've seen that Arthur's interacted with. If it's not a family member or a friend of the family, usually a lot of the people he deals with on the outside are basically like Lucas. Yep, that trigger word for you.
and speaking of Lucas,
my
man shows up at the end of the chapter stalking Arthur.
And was that both kid he beat up in lunchroom as well as the kid he humiliated?
The one he pants?
Yeah. Was that both of them?
Pants?
It was
he's there too, yeah.
Yeah, it was Pants Kid, and wasn't that the kid he kind of like not really humiliated, but like made him like sit down? Yeah, in the class. I was like, oh, okay, so this is how we're gonna do this. I mean, I figured it wasn't gonna be too long before Lucas made some level of an appearance to kind of talk some shit. I mean, Arthur already put himself fervently in his path by taking over his position on the disciplinary committee. Getting special training, as well as a special room from the headmistress. So, yeah, all of Arthur's accomplishments clearly would be something to tick him off. But yeah, so hoping this next chapter we're gonna see either a few more hands get thrown or possibly some death threats be placed on somebody.
Like, bitch, don't you realize I'm a teacher right now? When you really want to do this, like.
I mean,
you really want to throw hands with a teacher today? Come on, man.
I mean, he's
man.
already
throwing hands with you, and I'm not even going all out.
He's already sparred with him once. Why would his head not get inflated? Like, he's not going to be able to win this fight.
And Arthur was on a big handicap for that fight.
I mean, he's a walking handicap for himself. a personal
Yeah.
handicap.
Yeah, he's like doing this handicap on purpose. But if Arthur was using his other two elements to fight Lucas, I think it'd be a wrap.
I'm kind of hoping that the lesson, or not the lesson, but the idea that he was coming up with while in that battle is going to be played out here. He's gonna actually try it, because I'm sure Lucas is gonna throw
Trying
something
to take the air out of the entire fucking
of the area, yeah, and just extinguish the flames that way.
Or just extinguish Lucas altogether.
I mean, we're probably not gonna go that far just yet. Not just yet. We still got Big Brother to come by. Give it
That's
a sec.
okay. They can run hands too.
You just want all these hands on that family, don't you? That's all you
Hey
want.
man, fuck Lucas. I mean, like, his brother's never shown up enough for me to find out if he's a total dickbag like Lucas or not. So I can't really
You
pin it
can't
on
comment
him,
on yet.
Yeah, so I can say fuck Lucas all I want, but
I
I can't say fuck his brother.
We don't know if it's a family trait yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he could be a nice guy, he could be a chilling dude.
It's gonna be all just to be the little brother. All right.
Yeah, like the little brother that's a piece of shit, but the big brother's like, I don't mind his dumbass.
Yeah.
You know?
He just shows off because he thinks he can. It's all right. Well,
Yeah,
we'll have to
exactly.
see. We'll have to see with that next chapter. All right. Well, let's go ahead. We'll move on here to our one chapter for God of High School.
513.
513. Basically a straight battle out between Q, Pandora,
Dean, my boy Dean.
Dean and our big god now. Yeah, it was just nothing but a fight chapter, more or less, and
Not a fight chapter.
well, I mean, it was more an explanation chapter more than anything,
Yeah.
than a fight. But still, a battle is ensuing, at least in showing off the combined forces of Joker's pantomime, Pandora's hope ability, and then Dean's time ability, more or less the ability to read into the future. But also just, once again, showing that, Mubon Park is a god. He is a god, and
You can't run hands.
no
with
matter
God
what you
that
throw
much.
at him, you can't go above God. So, yeah, that the explanation of showing off pantomime and everything was kind of cool, and then showing the amount of planning that they're trying to do to put in to kill this dude. It's nice, but I know that at the end of the day, it's going to be meaningless because
You're fighting God.
yeah, yeah,
Dude,
you can see
we've seen motherfuckers fight a god before, but like
very much.
this guy is like the god of gods at this point.
Yeah.
He's above Odin. He's above Satan. He's above all of them.
Yeah.
He's 1v200 them. All the Valkyries and all. He 1v200 them.
Yeah, this is a fight that I mean, this is more a fight of attrition to wait, hopefully, until
Buy some time
until the real fighter gets here, more than
the
anything.
Monkey King
Yep.
shows up
with all his glory. But yeah,
with his new Yoi and like his 15,000 Yois.
but yeah, so this might be. I'm calling that this is probably going to be the end for Q, because we did see multiple death flags in there,
Damn.
especially with
it,
the.
though.
You do,
With Dean,
but
with Dean's ability, you saw 100 like so many death flags.
100 deaths. 100 deaths. No matter what you do, you're gonna die. But it looks like he accepted that, and we even got the whole little flashback of him with the family. So I expect this will be the curtain call for Q. I don't know if Pandora and Dean are gonna stick around, or if they're gonna maybe
dip out
and try and recoup everything. But yeah, so I wasn't 100% sure why there was not a drop today for 514. There are 3 chapters ahead right now currently, so I don't know, maybe they're late on the drop and it'll come out sometime after we do this or whatnot, but
or tomorrow or something.
Yeah, so I can't really say. I'm sure there's a few people that are like, oh, we already read it, we already know what happens. But yeah, so
we don't know what happens. We're not spending that 5 cents.
Nah, not on this one. Not on this one yet. So
as cool as it'd be to use fast passes for this show, I'd rather not.
I end up using a lot of my fast passes for some of the other stuff. I read ahead for Lore Olympus for sure.
I didn't. I held myself back from that because like. We don't.
Yeah.
I do it from time to time when.
Yeah,
it's,
you have.
You know, it's nice to support the.
Support the
writer.
creator. Yeah.
Like I'll do it to support it.
Every
but, like,
so
not
often.
read it. Because I'm just like, man, I want to stay in suspense.
Now I'm like 2 months ahead.
What do I do?
Light novel readers, looking at you, Ark, and looking at myself.
Yeah. Y'all
Ark
two
for
are
TV8, me
y'all
for
are
fucking
the
solo
y'all are the
leveling,
light novel
overgeared.
I only read a little bit ahead in the light novel. It's like if I'm curious as to like how different it actually is compared.
Oh, do you just basically just like read that one chapter in specific to see what it's like?
No,
Like what
I'll read everything up to that point and then a little bit ahead.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we'll move on here from the God of High School over to the Inso's Law. We did get, well, actually, we got a normal chapter last time we recorded, but the translation was a little wonky, so we wanted to hold off and see if maybe the next couple would be better, but we're still on that wonkiness. I don't know if anyone got a good
No, I
translation.
think they're much better than that one chapter.
I still got, the ones I got this week were still mismatched a little bit. Some of the text was confusing for me all over the place. I read through it a few times and I figured out what's happening, but it was just like, yeah.
All of the main characters' friends are like, "Hey, it wasn't your fault. We're fine now. We're good. We're all still friends." And then everyone else is still like,
"Fuck you."
This bitch.
Yeah, it is now Danai and friends versus the entire school, pretty much. Yuri is out. But what's up?
Fuck this school! God, leave her alone! I want to protect that, alright?
I don't think it's the school at fault, right? It's more like the world.
It's the students!
I mean, it's the way the world is supposed to be set up.
Yeah.
It's the story. It has to be this way.
It's the way the world is set up, and she is this weird outlier, which has like interfered with the world in such a way where like the world is trying to correct itself around her, but it can't do it because she's an anomaly, basically, right? Because she's like,
she is Neo.
She doesn't follow her role like she's supposed to.
So the story has to,
where if, like the secondary character would have already been dropped, or like the secondary character would have done her
thing and then moved out of the story.
And then but here, because we know that, ironically, we know that she's actually the main character, then the world around her does not know what to do. So like everyone just overly reacts to her like, no, she's obviously the problem, not us.
Yeah.
Man, fuck this world, dog. My sweet little Danai, bro, making this one girl throw the ball at her head 12 fucking times.
I was surprised by that. I was kind of amazed when that occurred, and I was like, where is Banuro Yang for this? Because usually she's ready to just fight somebody for talking mess. They're throwing shit at her.
The homegirl lad who like stood up for her in the classroom. The other one,
still
she is standing up for her right now, though. Honestly.
Yeah. Threw the ball right back, and also, oh god, wasn't it Blondie is silent in the corner for some reason. Not helping out.
Dog, come down here and beat that ass, guy.
Not,
we know you will.
not throwing any kind of words or shade or anything on anybody. I'm just sitting in the back. I don't know, but granted, he's already got Hacker Man on his back though, since they're now best friends. Slash partners. But yeah. So I guess this will be our third arc and starting in here with this, with now the entire school basically turning on Danai. I
hate to see it.
You do, but you know the trope. You know that this is kind of how it would go.
It's gotta happen, though.
It's gotta happen this way. So we'll have to see how she kind of reacts to this, because I know, I'm sure she knows and understands a little bit what's going on, but still, the emotional weight is not great for her. And we still haven't had a weird day skip yet either. come up yet, where she's just blipped out of the existence.
I don't think much time has passed until that time comes.
I mean, I know that I think it's been mentioned at least once or twice that they've, at least what's his name is like keeping track of it. So, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly where they'll go with this, if we'll actually get a full-on kind of brawl with the school, since that's how the chapter seemed to close out, with her one classmate tossing the ball at the other kid's head, and then the boys showing up and looking like they're about to throw some hands. I mean, granted, I would like to see, I like someone's comment in the bottom, just shut up and let the Kings just humiliate their families and completely embarrass them into obscurity and give the school to Dan so she can live in peace. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I couldn't see them not having the power to. They are some of the richest kids around, so it seems completely doable.
Yeah.
Very, very much doable. All right.
Jealous.
Yeah, kind of jealous. That's what it got. All right. Anything else though on Inso's Law for these 3 chapters though?
No.
Nope. Still waiting on to see what comes up on board.
Leave her alone. Leave
Leave her alone. You leave Brittany alone. Did I alone? She's a treasure to us all. All right, let's go ahead. Let's move on here over into the world of Lore Olympus. Ark, you want to take it away on these 2 chapters? We got a bonfire moment. Yeah,
we have it where mysteriously all the girls who were the nymphs who hung out with
Persephone.
Persephone.
Corey.
Yeah, Persephone and her mom, like they work for her. They just randomly show up in Hades and they're like, hey girl, we're going to like throw you a party. And then like they do, but the underlying truth is like, yeah, we're here for a party, but we kind of need you to like look over the books too, because we threw too many parties while your mom and you were out. So the one girl who actually did her job decided to leave.
And she got pissed and quit.
Yeah. So that's happening, and then we have it where what's her name? The girl who was dating Apollo, Daphne, right? Daphne shows up with Thanatos, and then they kind of like sneakily give Persephone some like knightly garments, and then
I'm pretty sure that was she was at shopping, and one of the shopkeeper, the clerks there were kind of like trying to convince her to buy it, and she kind of bought it on the down low. But Daphne found it. Yeah, but Daphne found it and wanted to know more about like, so what's this for? How's that relationship progressing?
And then they have like a party where there's a bonfire. Hades and Persephone dance. Everyone is like, oh man, these guys should be together. But then mysteriously someone shows up, and it turns out to be Leto, right?
Leto.
Yeah, Leto. Where it's Apollo's mom, and she's like, you should be with Apollo. Or like, did you know that Hades and Hera used to be a thing too? And you're like, really? Why are you doing this? Like,
I mean,
a girl's relationship like this.
The sun didn't.
Man, Persephone at this point, she's just like, I'm just gonna tell you this. Apollo did this to me, and we're not doing this ever again. You understand this? Like, but yeah,
I mean, Persephone's kind of too much of a good person to do that, and why wouldn't mom be slightly manipulative? I mean, the sun didn't learn it from nowhere.
No, I expected it from
Zeus?
Sun coming from
Zeus? Dad. Yeah, no. I don't see him being that smart, at least how they portray him here. I think Zeus is pretty like considering everything, I think Zeus is pretty manipulative when it comes to like the opposite sex. But that's the only thing he is like manipulative and good at. Everything else, though. I mean, I wouldn't say he's good at it, because it literally is always blown up in his face. every time. Like that's
single
what. Yeah, everyone literally talked shit about him because of it. So I don't know if I consider
but
it
that's
good.
that's only because like you got caught one too many times. And then you're like you don't know what trusts you about that anymore, right? That's why he has to go to like the mortal realm and fuck people because like everyone else already knows. Like it's like nah. You don't fuck with Zeus because it's never going to end well, okay? Because Hera will kill you, right?
I mean,
But they were like in the mortal world, everyone like that's why Zeus is like, yeah, but I can do it here though, like because like when you read mythology and stuff, like everything like going through everything, it's like yeah, but he still tricked Hera, he still tricked like everyone, all the other like goddesses and stuff.
well, yeah,
and, like,
in standard
Titans,
regular
like
mythology,
Leto and
yeah.
all this stuff. He does that at least once, and then like it got to the point where like no one's gonna put up your bullshit anymore. So he's like, well, time to go look for other games. So he went to the mortal world. That's what happened.
I mean, yeah, I would say that for standard mythology, but more here, it's like he's just more of like, well, I'm big man king because I'm the one that pulled everyone together to fight our father and blah blah blah, and I made the rules for this. I mean, that's literally why they have that like meeting and. No one's really paying attention to him. At the same point, like when you brought up the fact, like, why the hell of all people would Persephone's mom, Demeter, run away from Zeus? She would bitch slap him every step of the way if he ever came to her. So it's like, why is she doing that in here? Why would she hide? Why would she care? It's like, oh well, because of how they've like kind of changed her history and her character for this. It would make more sense. But yeah. So it would be interesting to see that, Apollo probably gets a little bit of his manipulative nature from Mom in some way. I mean, granted, she's already at least seen in this world, she has kind of a more or less a hidden secret that everyone kind of keeps to themselves about. And it's particularly doing between her and Hera. So
Stephanie here doesn't need to worry about who her man was seeing before. That's like just get over
we
that
are
insecurity.
in the now.
Yeah, we already had it.
Where like I was like, oh, we already got this. Like I was like, we just did this with Min. Do we need to do this with like Hera too? Like, no, we don't. Okay, because like the reason why you got that job with Hades was because Hera was like, you know what? I remember this guy that I used to date. Let me send that one girl over because he's a good guy.
He's a good person out of all of the males that I know. I don't know.
The only decent person here.
I mean, I don't know. Poseidon has seemingly been pretty good. He takes care of his kids.
He's just vibing. He's taking care of his kids.
He takes care of his kids.
He's like, you want a beer?
Beer? I got a kid. Sit back, chill. Yeah, so
hang out with my child for a little bit. You'll be fine.
I mean, yeah, yep. So, but you were there. I mean, your original prediction that she was going down to see Hades, but here she's actually looking up to see Persephone. So, and I don't believe in the chapter that Persephone at all. I don't know if she actually asked her who she is. If I'm correct, she actually seems to know right away.
She goes at the end and she goes, "Who are you?"
Okay.
Persephone asks her, "Who the hell are you? How'd you get in this house?
Who the fuck are you? I do not know you. You're not one of the nymphs." Basically, is what she was going at.
There we go. Yeah. Yep.
She was casually talking, not looking at her, thinking it was one of the nymphs.
Thinking it was one of the other
nymphs.
nymphs.
Hold on, wait a minute. How'd you get in here?
You know, this
I'm gonna need you to leave these.
you know this
right
is
now.
private property, right?
It's like when you're throwing a party at your house, right? And then everyone you know is there, and then randomly, like the stranger.
The stranger just makes their way in.
Dude, where'd you come from? What is your associate with?
Just kind of snuck out the bush, like, ooh, a party. What's going on over there? I brought snacks. She at least brought some snacks.
All right, that's fine.
I guess Leto did bring.
Leto did bring snacks, so it's okay. It's all good.
You really had me at the stack. Right? Now I'm starting to rethink this whole thing.
Oh, god damn it. All right. All right, so
she brought stacks.
We're gonna have to put a bouncer on the door if
she's
we have a
probably
party.
Okay, my boy.
If that's the thing that like gets past security. You brought snacks? All right, come on in. That's all good.
You brought a whole ass cup of rotisserie chicken.
God damn.
You win.
Dog.
Allergy season.
Little less than that, but yeah. So we've got Leto now down trying to cause some shit. We still haven't heard more back between the issue with Hera and the Iker and what that all that means. Hades is busy basically watching Thanatos, stalking him through the house, making sure he doesn't do some shit. Just making sure he doesn't do some shit.
Don't follow them.
As well as Apollo running up on Hermes and trying to get the full story, which he does technically know. So I'm not sure how that's going to turn out for her brother if once she finds out about that as well. But yeah, so we're getting some story clashing here coming up pretty soon, hopefully. I am hoping that Persephone does kind of shut Leto down really quickly, though. It's like, why would I take advice from a random stranger?
Turn her into a plant.
I mean, yeah, she's still got to fix Minith.
I don't think she's strong enough to.
I don't think she is
a Titan.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh, she's a Titan.
She is a Titaness, so that might be a little bit out of her wheelhouse. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what that clash may come to bring. But all right, that's everything at least on Lore Olympus for those two chapters. Still more to come with that. But we'll move on here to another lovely lady with Mookhyang on the Darkest Realm.
Hey, Daddy showed up. Yep.
I mean, Dad did show up. Daddy
Dad
showed up. Daddy brought himself a care package.
Yes, and then
Tried to
talking to with the blue dragon.
Had a small conversation with the young dragon and their son fighting. At the same time, also trying to get some marriage counseling going as well.
What are you doing?
You should marry my boy. But he's
a human.
No. He's really not. And
he's
also,
not.
Isn't
that
a woman?
That's a woman.
That's a man.
I'm a boy.
So it's complicated. I can't tell you all that.
Wait, I thought genders for dragons were completely pointless. Yeah, but we have preferences.
He's a man on the inside.
Oh. I feel like that whole bit was written for a very few fans, or at least readers, that have complained and whined a lot. I feel like that was pointed at some people.
A lot of the readers, like
a fair amount of them. I wouldn't say a lot of them, but a fair amount of them. But yeah,
the show was called Dark Lady. Like,
it's right there.
It's in the name.
It's not a surprise. Come on. Yeah, so
don't be mad. You read the name as Dark Lady. You knew what you were getting into after chapter 1.
pretty much. But the talks end. There is no marriage plan currently going on, but we don't know. She says that she may catch him in the future. They do live kind of long time. But yeah, the next chapters we got from there, though, were heavy exposition explaining chapters. More specifically on the upcoming war that's going to happen between Kuruma and Corinth, the two warring nations that we have coming up. The third party is the group that I'm confused on. Ark, did you gain anything from that? I don't know if that's it. Is that another country? Because I don't know. Was it? Because I don't know how they worked, how they were kind of acting, because they seemed like they were more or less like a gathering of mages more than anything. Because it seemed like they were like.
So we're talking about the one country that's going to declare war by launching the meteors.
I think it's Kuruma that wants to do the meteor thing.
Yes, and then, or are you talking about the part where it's the two old guys who are sitting across the table?
No. It's not the two old guys that are sitting across the table. I know that one is
that's Corinth, and then
that's Corinth, and I think that's Corinth, and then Dark's countries, like Ambassador or something. But that's what those two. No, there's that round table of hooded figures that are not Corinth. Is that Aragon? they're in that beginning chapter after, or no, at the beginning, but the very end of that one chapter, there's like a group of just hooded figures and they're talking about the war that's going to come, but they're not specifically talking about them starting it, but them profiting off of it.
Oh yeah. There's the profiteers.
They're like.
I just assume they're always just the profiteers in war. Period.
Well, I mean, I figured that there are, but these ones seem like they're trying to be more.
We're waiting for everyone to weaken themselves.
Like if they're trying to profiteer by getting yes. There's always some motherfucking Cobra commanders for sure, but these ones seem to be more like they're on production sides of things. Like they're either the war profiteers that are going to be either making the weapons for things, or they're kind of either somehow like a collective of mages from each of the countries. That kind of.
They're the Illuminati. That's all they are.
I mean, okay,
right?
yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe they are the Illuminati.
Technically.
I mean,
group of people
because it sounds like they're a country who is planning to take over everything, but at the same time, their plan is like long-lived, where they're like, nah, if we just support every single country that goes to war with each other, eventually it gets to the point where they'll just kill themselves first, and they will just.
Our plan, our plan is to slowly take over. Yeah, our plan is to slowly take over, but not by war, just by, other people killing themselves off. Yeah, we'll be the last ones here, so therefore we are the winners. Yeah, so, I mean, I know that this is more or less of the story out of it being all fantasy and martial arts. There is this political sphere that we're kind of getting introduced to more and more as Dark has expanded out of his main personal kingdom. But we haven't been introduced to apparently now the shadow Illuminati that they have here going down. But yeah, so we've now got those two, and then now Dark's also now been basically conscripted to be the commander of the army that's going to be backing with Corinth during this war as well. Even though he isn't in his own home country currently. But it's good. Yeah, he's making allies.
Named Dark. He's the new Baron, right? Yeah. How about we let him lead? What? Why? He's a grandmaster.
He's a grandmaster.
What? And apparently, like, there's like a
war
a third party that like grades grandmasters.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like this war board. It's the same thing. Like in Red Sun, there's a actual like place or group of people that grade or at least give recordings of all
on the rankings yet. Yeah. I can guarantee you that they can kick ass. Basically what he was doing.
More or less, yeah. Well,
so it's always the unrankers.
Yes, the unknown rankers are usually the most dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
As we've seen from any story. So yeah, but they used him basically as leverage rather than using the other commander and his second in command to lead the army. But the guy made sure to get out on the deal by making it so that the prince of their country has to study under the knights in theirs, more or less solidifying an alliance so that they know, yeah, if you ever betray us, we'll kill the noun crown prince. So you will have
but they also have don't they have the second prince too?
They don't. The second prince is in
a different country.
He's in Corinth. The second prince is in Corinth, but they want to take the crown prince. So they essentially will have no royal lineage going forward if the king dies. Because they'll both technically be hostages in each country. Yeah. I don't think the guy that was talking with at least them they weren't Corinth. They weren't Corinth itself. I think they're like they're a third country that's smaller, but like on the barter line, and they're kind of like, we'll throw our lot in with kind of whoever we see winning, and then we'll back them, kind of thing. But yeah.
And then they have like, oh yeah, we have the second prince here. He's kind of a pussy. You know what? We should make him king. Why? Because we could just easily puppet him around. Come on, guys.
Set up the weak king so that they know that they can take over if they ever need to. Yeah. The politics game in this series, it's kind of all over the place, but good. It's good. I am enjoying that part of it. So
I mean, it's real world politics.
I mean,
okay.
yes, very much so. Yeah. So besides our political talk that we got of all of this, how do we at least enjoy this chapter?
I mean, I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Liked it.
I like political intrigue, so.
I mean, I figured that's gonna be your go-to bit, and Dad in Dark was probably mine and Sarah's bit.
Oh, you mean the bit where he's like, wait, why did I come here again? Just besides to see you? Oh, that's right. You, like, your coat of arms. He's like, oh,
it's shit.
actually saw that.
Why?
Well...
Who's that supposed to be on there? I know it's not me.
Yeah.
It can't be me. There's no way.
I just love the two contrasting ideas. Two warring nations, massive political talks, people having to trade royal lineages for leverage. And what's the most important thing going on? The two most powerful beings around talking about, why the fuck did you make a shitty drawing of me?
Yeah.
Do we see where the importance lies?
Who cares about all that other stuff?
Who cares about?
Why did you just make a shitty drawing of me and put it on your goddamn flag?
I just love how the series just perfectly undercuts.
I was really hoping that Dark was going to be like say something really stupid and be like, but Dad, this is how I think you, like, this is how much I love you, or something, and then he'd be like, oh, and they put it on the fridge.
Oh,
like, yeah,
God.
This is how much my son loves me, like that, like, and I'd be like, we just never talk about this joke ever again.
Nope,
right?
never ever bring it up until the very final chapter, and you just see a picture of the flag, and you're like, ah. Father son love, perfect. But anything else on these chapters though? For this very, very silly ass thing. Any predictions though we've got going forward? Are we at least gonna figure out who the Illuminati is here?
No, probably not for a while.
Yeah, we're probably not gonna figure that out for a long time.
I kind of wonder if it's someone we already know. I only wonder.
We might have seen people.
I mean, there was
the Black Mage guy.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Black Mage guy was kind of behind that. He's been shady pretty much since he's been introduced.
Since day
so
one.
Yeah, that dude just constantly exudes shade. But yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on to our last one here of the evening with Solo Leveling. Two very remorseful chapters happen in this one. So we've got the association president gets basically assassinated by one of the monarchs, the Monarch of Frost. And Hunter Sung Jin-woo tries his best to fend him off, but is unsuccessful at saving the association president. And basically he makes a declaration to the world of the monarch's presence, as well as the invitation that any hunters, at least any of the top hunters who are seeking more or less protection or refuge, should come to him. I think before the close of the chapter, at least in that one, I think one more, national rank hunter had been killed as well on top of the association president. So we're down to like 8 or 9, even though he's mic'd pretty much the rest of them. But yeah, in the latest chapter though, we get to see a meeting of the monarchs as they discuss the supposed plan of what they have to go through, and it's very specifically the plan to more or less attack our monarch of shadow. Since, of course, according to them, he is one of the strongest of the entire lot of monarchs, of the 9, next to supposedly the
King of Destruction.
The King of Destruction. Who I'm only guessing is the dead dragon skeleton from before, his previous form. I don't know if 100% true, but that would be my guess since they said that he was a dragon as well. But
probably a descendant of whoever.
Well, I mean, I figure since they say that the monarchs don't really die, they just seemingly they get reincarnated when they're destroyed. They just find new hosts to take over for them.
new vessels and stuff like that.
Yeah, which and they said that these current forms they have are not borrowed vessels, but
Sufficing.
they're actual forms, according to the Monarch of the Beginning, which is why he is Sung Jin-woo is not able to make shadows out of them, because these are not just their fake forms. If they're killed, they actually are destroyed straight out. But the it looks like I believe it's the Monarch of Beast or the King of Beast. I don't think they said her name, but the snake-looking chick, as well as the Monarch of Frost, are looking to band together and take on Sung Jin-woo now. So we're gonna get at least in the next chapters we're gonna get a full out brawl here. But are we speculating at least on power sets here for at least how dangerous these ones are compared to the others? Because according to them, he's not at his full strength.
No, it's because they think that the Shadow Monarch is still the Shadow Monarch, and not realizing that Jin-woo is basically
Jin-woo was basically absorbed or taken over that role.
Or like he just like the Shadow Monarch. If the Shadow Monarch still is the Shadow Monarch, he's just like, nah, Jin-woo, you just do it whatever you want. Like I'm out of this. Like, I don't want to take any part of this. I've already done it once.
Well, I mean, he clearly doesn't like the other monarchs, and they very much don't like him either. He seems to be the weird wild card in this entire war to begin with. But, you know, they kind of need him, but they kind of more or less need to get rid of him, because he's going to be somewhat of a hindrance when the oh god, what did they call them then? Not the administrator, but the angels are going to appear
The
again.
rulers?
The rulers. Because it seems like that's at least what the Shadow of Monarch's purpose is for this fight. Is he's either someone that's supposed to play like the weird wild card that can just screw up whatever side he chooses to be against, or wreck them both. Yeah. Since his army is whoever's army he decides to take over.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah, but so I'm more wondering, at least, what do we see, at least coming from Sung Jin-woo's perspective, is now that he has to play basically host parent to every hunter in existence right now, and he can't track the monarchs since they seemingly can appear wherever they damn well please as it goes down. I don't know if we see him actually, well, the chapter ended with, of course, Andre gifting him going to gift him some presents, very specifically. I don't know if we see him.
Nice present.
Yeah, I don't know if we see him actually taking on the monarchs now one-on-one, or if he's going to be playing on defense, since
So this is about to be a 3-on-1.
Well, yeah, a 3-on-1, but I don't know if anybody else is. I mean, I figure for him, he's not going to actually ask anybody for backup, because, you know, everyone's pretty much a liability in this fight.
He's already smoked like the world's top hunters.
Well, I mean, yeah.
There's nobody who can help him after he smoked them without breaking a sweat.
Very much so. And also, Dad is still out and about.
Dad is still doing dad stuff. He's just being
Dad is still doing Dad stuff. He's got at least one hunter, one national rank hunter with a target on his back coming at him. And we still have not been given at least proper confirmation, outside of anybody who's read ahead, who other homeboy was at the beginning of the new season who showed up.
Homeboy.
Because there was another person that was talking to, I believe, either one of the monarchs that they were having an argument with.
Oh,
this
yeah.
This is not the first time we've seen them together, right? Because we've seen them all together before.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them. We've seen the King of Beast, or the King of Beast, all I'm going to call him, and the Frost Monarch have been together, but we haven't seen all of them like in a central area.
This is the first time we've seen the green chick.
Yep, Don't have a name
We
for
have
her.
seen Pretty Boy Blondie once when they went to go fight Christopher Reed.
Yep.
And then the other guy is still to be
Still
unseen.
unknown. Yeah.
There's 9 of them. There was 9 of them. Only 2 of them
Yeah.
are dead. Or one is Jinwoo, the other one.
Yeah,
is
one
dead.
is Genru and the other one is dead. So we got 7 of them at least as opposition currently.
I think we've seen all 7 of them actually, though.
Now at least, I think.
Mhm.
We've seen all 7 of them. So, but yeah, there's these other individuals because, well, the association president, he had an entity inside of him, and his was considered just like a light being or something that they had. He wasn't
fragment of
a
light.
fragment of light. But he said that it had blessed other vessels as well, which I figure are the national ranks. But but they said killing him will only more or less just kills the body, but the actual fragment will find another host. And I didn't know if the guy at the beginning might have been another of the fragments that we just haven't been introduced to yet. So, just a few tidbits of history. I know that I'm not reading ahead intentionally. I know that there's a ton of material ahead before that. But is there anything else that you two have speculating wise, or anything that you actually want to see? Do we want to see a return of the administrator possibly show up and talk some more shit?
Nah, I'm cool with the pace of where we're at.
No comment.
No comment. I know, but I love doing it. It's just so fun.
You and JC both.
We just love to press that button, man. Come on. But all right. Well, with that does bring us to the end of the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on this latest edition. We still got some other ones that we're still putting in the fire for picking up, because I know that we've got a few other series on hiatus still. No word yet on Peerless Dad picking up yet. Tower of God has supposedly announced its coming return, but we're still waiting on an actual date. I have no idea what's going on with Let's Play. That has been off for so long. I was expecting just maybe a couple of months, but it still hasn't made its reappearance yet. So hopefully we'll see some of these return.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I say the same. I actually got really into that, but hopefully we'll pick up some other ones that we've got on the list here. There's so many more that we want to continue to read. But I will go ahead here, since our homeboy is back. I'll let him do his famous closes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this episode of the Project WEBTOON podcast. If you like, leave a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you guys want to stay updated with our content. Make sure you hit that little bell. As well as you can go down to the description to find all my links where we have everything down there.
Hey, thank you so much. Well, go ahead and closing us out one more time. It's your big man, it's Sleepy.
It's your boy Seraph here.
And this is Arc Dragoon out.
Hey, everyone, take it easy out there.
Bye-bye.